Hey folks, and welcome to episode 3 of Creating a Mindset of Success for Your Child, and thanks for giving us a listen. Here is where I welcome you to join me in wrestling with thoughts around, are we doing the best we can when it comes to arming our nation's and even our region's children with a mindset of success for today's digital world? And I have to tell you, I am a little concerned. Okay, I am a lot concerned, but I'm also hopeful because I think by talking things out, just by having these conversations, that ideas will spark in the collective maybe. And together we could figure out ways to at least do it better than yesterday. I think if we could at least do it better than yesterday, we would be on a path of progress. And that should be the goal, not perfection, but just doing it a little better than yesterday. So let's dive right in and talk children's empowerment. Now, when you hang out with people who are successful, their positive experiences and sometimes even their negative ones in terms of how they overcome things can become fuel for your own vision. Because it's not just about seeing what they do, but seeing how they do it. Their mindset in approaching goals and handling setbacks, that can rub off positively. So today, I want us to do a little thought experiment, right? And you tell me what you think by the end, where even if you don't know anyone who is successful in the way that you want your child to be, or even if you yourself are struggling, you can still win for your child. Regardless of your environment, regardless of your past, regardless of if you don't know anything about today's digital world and it scares you, you could still win for your child by being extremely intentional about developing in them a mindset that's primed for success in today's world, not your past realities, not how it used to be when you were growing up, but today's world. And that giving them that mindset, giving them that gift will give them an advantage, not in some distant future, but right now. I'm Dawn, and I'm the founder of My Cashless Class. We create convenience for busy parents when it comes to managing their child's day-to-day school transactions by giving them a digital solution that can help and that they can use from anywhere, whilst on the go, or right from the comfort of their home, phone, or computer. We want to have all school cafeterias, and in fact anyone who sells products and services designed for students on our digital platform. And they all join and get their digital store created by us for free, making it a true one-stop shop. It's our goal, it's our dream, it's our vision, it's our mission to be like Amazon, but for the school sector. But that is still not all. We also help those parents who want to give their child an advantage in life by shaping a positive mindset around managing money digitally. Why? Because we know that children who are comfortable when it comes to managing their money digitally have more opportunities for making money in today's digital world. Because by being digitally comfortable, they are much more open and better prepared for opportunities globally and not just where they are locally. So we believe that if you are not ready to be a strong swimmer in the digital ocean, then you will be stuck on the shore watching a table that's not only floating further away, but that you don't even have the skills to get a seat at. So that's what gets us up in the morning. That's our North Star, to improve that chance for our nation's children. Okay, so I am sure that you may have spent money on your personal development at some time in your life. And I don't necessarily mean paying for a fancy course or going to a workshop at the Hyatt for 2 days. Even in the simplest of circumstances, I am sure at some point in time you went somewhere or you spoke to someone who you felt could teach you something that could help you grow. Maybe you're a mechanic, so you went by a master mechanic and learned something that helped you grow to be a better mechanic. Or maybe you're a baker, so you went by someone who's a great baker and who you knew a lot about baking. And by hanging around them, you learned to do things that made you a better baker. So pick whatever it was, and that you are in, or even if you're in the course of planning to do something that you want to be able to do better, and you were driven to seek out someone or seek out a service that you believe could teach you more about the thing and how to do it better, right? That would be fair to say that we've all done that at some point in time in our life for our personal development. Now, I'd also bet that at least on some of the occasions that you wanted to learn to be better at the thing, it was because it would help you to make more money. You may have gone to school, gotten an education, because you wanted to formally learn how to do the thing. Maybe you dropped out of school and you gained your experience from working with people who did the thing, and that's how you also became good at doing the thing. And then you may have used your skill gained either through formal education or experience to make money, right? So far so good. So I'm guessing that it would be fair to say that you hold a belief that personal growth can help you to be more successful in life. I'm also going to guess that for the majority of us, thinking about our own personal growth and what we needed to do to be better at what it is we do in a tangible way was something that came pretty much later in life. You know, thinking about your own personal growth for yourself as an individual may be something that came later in life. Maybe you dropped out of school and decided to go back. Maybe you decided to teach yourself a new skill or trade so that you could make money. Maybe you decided to just get another certification or a degree. And whilst I know that there are people out there who just love to learn for learning's sake, the majority of us, we learn to do things and hopefully to do it better than others because we want to make more money. So now, let me ask you, here's the thought experiment question. How much more powerful do you think you would have been today if you had started having those conversations about personal growth and thinking about your own personal development in the way that you know now, using tangible, practical experiences? How much more powerful would you be if you had started doing that earlier? We always say, my God, if only I knew then what I know now, right? And since the best way to teach is to do, it stands to reason that when you have experience with doing something, it is even better than just knowing the theory, and being better gives you an advantage. So stay with me. If all of that is true, and you would have been better off today if you knew then what you know now, then how much more powerful would your children be when they reach where you are now or where you are trying to be, if they got that mindset now? And that's a thought experiment. We are spending money on our personal development later in adulthood to help us get a mindset around being successful at whatever it is we choose to do. And my hypothesis, my thinking is along the lines of, if we were to focus on empowering children at an earlier age, we could prime them for success in a much better way if we did a lot of that now. And we could probably save some money on personal development courses as well. I am sure there are some of you who are not entirely happy about the environment that your children are in. Maybe their day-to-day life has negative examples around them. Maybe you don't have the necessary resources to expose them to everything that other people can expose their children to. But I'm here to tell you that none of that really matters, right? When it all comes down to it, in order to prime a child for success in today's world, it doesn't have to cost anything at all. And it doesn't have to depend on if you personally have knowledge about the thing in order to expose them to the kind of success that you want for them. So what on earth am I talking about? When has life dealing with children ever been free? Well, the most important determining factor for a child's success is mindset. We all know of a child who went to a school where the environment wasn't the best and still excelled. I'm sure you or even your parents can tell you stories about someone they knew, or maybe they themselves, who studied by candlelight, or who after doing chores in the family home, and I mean like tying out animals or helping in the family shop, not the little baby chores that our children do today. I'm talking big man thing, where they had to work when they came home before they got down to schoolwork, often late at night when they were tired, and they still excelled. In those scenarios, they most certainly did not have the advantages that others had. But what did they have? What was more powerful than any course or book or tablet or rich family friend was mindset. They had a mindset that wouldn't let them quit. They had a mindset given to them from the hard work that they probably saw their parents do, and that hard work was required to be successful. So they had a ringside seat at how to live. So that being true, you already have access to the tools to successfully shape your children's future. 1, you understand that if you were exposed to thinking about personal development in the way that you do now, back then when you were a child, you'd be more powerful and further along than you are now. And 2, you hopefully agree that just being exposed to and having the ability to talk to your children about the power of a mindset of success has a positive impact. So any lesson you have learned in life, any hardship you've been through, any way in which you've overcome has value, and value that can successfully shape your child's future. Because what you will be doing when you have those conversations about how you overcome and how you are trying to be better, you would then be able to empower them with a belief that anything is possible and that if you work hard, you can excel. You are the example. Even if it is something that you want to do and you haven't done it yet, talking to your children about why you want to be better has value. So why are we, My Cashless Class, a digital school transaction company, talking about children's empowerment and shaping their mindset? Well, because today's world is a digital one, and being able to manage digital transactions is a necessary skill. It's not negotiable. Your children need to at least, at the barest minimum, understand it. Even if you don't want them to use it or you don't use it, they should at least understand it. Because to go around in life ignorant of a thing or trying to stay away from a thing does not stop that thing from impacting your life, and often negatively, because you don't even know how to keep yourself safe. So what do I mean? Okay, let's say you're a parent who is either in denial of or who doesn't have the ability to expose their children to the digital world, right? To the power of digital transactions and how it can open up opportunities to make money. And now, here is your child who is unexposed, out here in the world, trying to get a job, or maybe fill out an online form, or maybe browse a website for information, and they are out here in the streets with other children who eat those things for breakfast. Who do you think has the advantage? In far too many circumstances, our ability to show our children how to be successful in today's digital world is limited, lacking, or non-existent. So how do we teach our children about something that we ourselves don't understand sometimes, and that maybe we dismiss, and that for the most part isn't taught in schools? How do we give children with different degrees of exposure the same necessary advantage so that all children stand a chance in today's digital reality? That's where we come in. You can shape their mindset for success in the digital world just by having a conversation about digital solutions and how they work. And you could use us as a conversation starter. You don't even have to use my cashless class for school transactions for the conversation to have an impact. Our greatest gift as my cashless class is that we take the day-to-day school transactions that you and your child have to do anyway, and we turn it into a teachable moment, thereby helping them to have a practical example, an experience that they could wrap their little heads around, right? Do you know that often a child's first independent encounter with commerce and retail is the school cafeteria? So what we wanted to do was to create a solution that could expose all children using that independent experience in school, in the safety of the school environment, to today's digital world. Regardless of what school they go to, regardless of who their friends are, regardless of whether you have money to afford things or not, they could be exposed to a concept that they could understand. And how come it works regardless of whether you use us or not? Because human beings are social creatures. And even if we can't learn by doing, we could learn by hearing and by talking, by having conversations. So more important than if you use us to digitally pay for and manage your child's school transactions is the fact that as we explain to you how we do what we do, and you get exposed to it, it gives you the experience to help your child learn and be better prepared for today's digital world. And when you explain it to them, just by having the conversation alone, it moves the needle in their personal development and awareness and makes them more empowered. So do me a favor, talk to your child today about a time that you wanted to learn something, a personal development goal that you set for yourself, no matter how small, and tell them the why behind why you did it or want to do it. Tell them that personal development is something that they can have access to just by talking to people who are successful at something they may be interested in. Let them start to have a lens, a radar for seeing success, the right kinds of success, and learning to seek it out. You know what you just taught them by saying that? You've given them their first exposure to networking 101. Now, when they develop an interest, they will naturally have the mindset to seek out those who do that thing and who do it well. And whilst you're talking to them, tell them that a critical part of their successful personal development in order to be ready for today and tomorrow's digital world is their digital comfort, and that digital transactions and understanding digital transactions play a part in that. In the next episode, we're going to break down how a digital transaction works so that children can understand it. The child who is aware is much, much harder to fool and is better able to take advantage of the opportunities that come in front of them from the digital world. I am sure you want them to have all the advantages they can, and we are here to help. We're going to be putting out more content on how to have conversations around having a positive mindset for your children and helping them to understand the digital world. And all we ask is that you share it, pay it forward, because you still give them the advantage just by having the conversation. So share it, because by being more aware, even if you don't agree, and even if it's not your cup of tea, at least our children can better understand the world around them and have an advantage rather than being taken advantage of. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you want to give your child the gift of a digital transaction experience, then hook us up with your school or PTA or cafeteria, and we'll get in touch and make it a reality. You can go to our website, mycashlessclass.com, and take a look around. Maybe you have a topic you'd like us to cover or something you personally struggle with. Feel free to send us a WhatsApp at 741-2665. No calls, guys, no calls. We're a digital company and we like messages, and we will reach out. My Cashless Class, making school transactions as smart as you are and hopefully as smart as you want your children to be. See you soon.